go, Jay. Slow down, a little. That's it. So we were born with a condition, epidermolysis bullosa. Both me and my brother, all through my childhood, lived in constant pain. There would be days where I couldn't walk and I'd have to crawl. It wasn't an easy journey, and it's still not an easy journey. And you wish it was different sometimes, but it isn't. You know, I always had a faith, but finding Christ in my 20s and hearing that God was actually a healer, I'd never heard that before. And so we found out we were pregnant, and we had just assumed, oh, it's fine, it'll be all sweet. Like our boys, they're going to be born without the condition. We don't need to worry about that because we're faith people. I'll never forget that first night when Jaden was born. He came out as the best night of our lives. And I'll never forget, I literally took him in my hands and I dedicated him to God right there and then, and just thanked him, you know, for our son.
The night that Jaden was born is where I first noticed it. Brendan had gone home for the night, and it was midnight that night, and as I went to change his nappy, he had blisters. And that was probably one of the scariest moments of my life because I didn't know what to do. So he'd only have to kick his legs, like, you know, like babies get excited, they kick their legs, and all his heels would blister and it would go down to raw skin. It was really hard because I didn't know how to care for my own child, and not even the professionals knew what to do.
I just automatically went back to my life and thought, I can't believe my kids are going to have to go through this pain. It was shattering. It was absolutely... It was absolutely shattering. We believed God, we trusted God, but yet now he has this condition, and I'm just thinking, this can't be happening. It was like, went from the best day of my life to the worst day of my life. Both kids love sport, but Jaden he's a freak. He's been playing soccer since he was 3 years old. When he gets home from school, he'll be out the back, set up goals and the cones, and he'll be running around and having shots, and he'll push through the pain of what he's playing just to get to that ball.
This is White Hart Lane in 7, Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. This one was 2014. And this one was 2012, this one was 2013.
Which is your favourite trophy?
This one.
Why is it your favourite?
It's the biggest. It looks like the World Cup one, kind of.
Why don't you want to wear the boots? Your feet, so. Huh?
Yeah.
Let's go. Everyone's waiting for us.
See you, boys.
So many people actually don't have any idea what they're going through, and you still see them out playing, you know, like any other kid. I've had countless times where I've been in a children's playground and parents have pulled their kids away from my children thinking they're going to catch something or that something's wrong with them. And I've never seen stronger kids where they just push on, and often they encourage us. Like, it's really amazing the stuff that they do when they're actually pushing through pain is remarkable.
I always ask him, I say, what do you want to do when you get older? He says, I want to play for Tottenham. I want to be a professional soccer player. I go, cool, if that doesn't work out, what do you want to do? He goes, I might be a preacher like you.
Who thinks playing a game is the best thing about soccer? Who thinks scoring goals?
I think one of the things that I've learned on the journey is that pain automatically makes you look inward. It actually takes your focus off outward. And to be honest, I didn't want it. It was almost like, here's a platform. Do you want this platform? I'm like, no. But really felt like God spoke to me and said, what about all the people that haven't got a voice? What about all the people who are stuck and they don't have an answer? They don't have the hope that you have in this condition. What about them? And I remember sitting there and thinking, what could I do?
So Brendan rang me before Christmas 2014, and he explained who he was and where he was from, and that he also actually suffered from EB, as does his 2 children. And he just explained that he was in a position to try and, help some of our EB families just before Christmas.
And I just said to her, I said, look, I know how hard it is for our family. And I said, but we've got a great support network around us. And I just said, is there anything we can do as a church to maybe help any of the families?
And so the Hillsong Church so generously donated these hampers, and the families were just so touched. It was just amazing, and so many families and individuals were touched by the generosity of Brendan just initiating this thought.
What I was completely blown away with was she started to tell me where all these people lived. And literally one lady lived, 2 minutes from our house, and I'd never met her in my life.
Hello.
Hi Vanessa, how are you?
All right, how are you?
Very good. Thank you. How are you?
Wow, not too
Good
bad,
to see
thanks.
you.
Yeah, you too.
So this is for your daughter, obviously.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you.
Is that for her from you?
Yeah.
And then there's 2 hampers there.
Oh,
There's some Christmas Carol CDs for you.
oh wow.
And this is for your son. So there's a little pack of headphones and glasses
Oh, we
and
were up, yeah.
a bodyboard. I don't know if he gets to the beach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then there's a jumper in there for it as well.
Oh, thanks very much.
Yeah. For me, I was like, wow, like I could have sat here and wallowed in our pity and challenge, but yet God gives us an avenue that while we have maybe been given something, or maybe we're going through something that we don't want to be in, there's always a platform. There's always a platform to maybe reach out and help somebody else. There's always a platform to reach out and do good. And one thing that I found doing that actually was like, wow, I just didn't realise the freedom that came inside of me when I was able to be a blessing to others.
I've never ever received anything like that before. I was just, I don't have the words to explain. I was just absolutely touched. That was great. And it was also nice to know that there's somebody just local that knows what I'm going through. So.
I don't believe God put a condition on us at all. I believe that God is good. I believe He's a healer. But I do believe that He's able to make every situation work together for good. And so, the weaker you get sometimes, the stronger you can become. It might look like a handicap, or it might look like an unanswered prayer. It might look like a situation that you don't want to be in, but yet there's people on the other side of that are going to either gain hope from you, or you're going to be able to bless and help through a tough season.
This young family, on their journey, not this side of their miracle, the miracle that they're looking for, but in the process, their strength and their courage is giving courage to others. There are endless miracles already happening in that story. I see a little boy whose faith is stoic, and that is actually been an example of faith and possibilities to others. And you see how God's got a master plan in that, beyond our understanding sometimes. And, I pray that that's true for all of our church. Because you watch that and it stirs emotion, but hopefully above emotion it stirs compassion. So if someone's walking in today for the first time, really pray that they'll experience and sense the presence of God, and that they'll encounter a God in heaven. His name is Jesus Christ, and He loves each and every man, woman and child, and that's our prayer for them.
I guess that's the most important thing.